Runners from 26 different states will be participating in tomorrow's Joplin Memorial Run. I'm Zach Dodge with a look at the economic impact that can have on Joplin. Coming up.
And some participants in tomorrow's event tell us why they run.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
161 flags line the walking path at Cunningham Park, each representing a story, a family, a life lost during the 2011 Joplin tornado. This is KOAM News at 6. Tomorrow marks the 10th anniversary of that tornado, and across Joplin you'll notice memorials and ceremonies honoring those lives we lost. We know many of you will participate in those ceremonies, but some might grieve and remember more privately. We've offered a space for you to do that on our website. There you'll find a video that honors the 161 people who lost their lives in the tornado and a space for you to share your memories. More than 2,000 people from all across the country will be remembering those lives lost at the Joplin Memorial Run. It's the 10th year for the run, which was started on the first anniversary of the Joplin tornado. KOAM Zach Dodge joins us live from Cunningham Park with the financial impact the run can have on the city.
From volunteering to running and coming to Joplin to honor the lives that were lost, everyone has a different reason for coming to the area. And with those runners and volunteers coming from all across the country, that impact can be seen in industries all across the city. After almost a 4-hour drive to Joplin, Julie Malter is ready to help the Memorial Run go off without a hitch.
I feel like this is my way of helping.
She lives in northern Missouri, but has come to Joplin every year for the Memorial Run, not to run, but to volunteer. She says it's a way that she can help when she couldn't 10 years ago.
It fills that hole that I feel for not being able to help then.
Roughly 300 volunteers help with the race every year, with many of them coming from other parts of the country. And more than 2,000 runners will also participate.
We do have runners coming from 26 states. Over half the nation is going to be represented there.
On top of being a dedication to the lives lost, the run also serves as a fundraiser, with more than $250,000 being donated since 2012 to organizations that have helped with recovery, something that wouldn't be possible without the support from everyone involved.
You know, we know we're doing something right, and Joplin's doing something right.
And while it's hard to know exactly how much, it means tens of thousands of dollars going to area businesses in every industry.
It'll have an impact across all the levels of taxation that support the city, from tourism to gas to food to everything. So it's a positive.
Conventions and Visitors Bureau Director Patrick Tuttle says that's what they'd want to see with any event. But as everyone knows, this run is so much more than that.
I think we're going to see more people come back because they were part of the recovery. They may have been here in the first months or first year of recovery, and they're coming back to see how well Joplin has done over the last 10 years.
Yeah, they've survived for 10 years and things are getting better.
If you want to be a part of the Memorial Run but haven't registered yet, you do still have a little bit of time. Registration will be open here in Cunningham Park until 7 p.m. Reporting live in Joplin, Zach Dodge, KUAM News.
Zach, thanks. Later we're going to hear from some runners about why they choose to participate. Right now, though, we're going to check in with Nick Kelly. A lot of people running tomorrow or participating in other events, keeping a close eye on the weather, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely, Dow. And for this evening, for sure, up until 7 o'clock when any festivities at Cunningham Park or activities out there continue on. Thankfully, I'm seeing dry conditions and a little bit of sun finally peeking out from 7th and Range Line in Joplin. Any light rain in the area now is east of 49 on the Missouri side from Stockton Lake down to Table Rock. But even though we'll get a break in the action overnight, mostly cloudy skies will stay in place. Temperatures aren't too bad, though. Lower 70s across much of Missouri, but some more mid 70s popping up on the Kansas and Oklahoma side. Now let's quickly talk about tonight and tomorrow morning. I think we're in general good shape for this evening and even for much of the overnight with maybe a slim shower chance possible. But by 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., another band of light rain sneaking in from the south, lifts overhead, and this may have an impact on the morning run and the Memorial Run actually, Dow. But since I'm not seeing any thunderstorms, I think they can get every race in okay. We'll break down tomorrow and go into detail and look at the week ahead here in a bit.
All right, we'll see you in a few. Thanks, Nick. Two single mothers are among a group of women suing Missouri for denying them access to Medicaid health care as called for in the state constitution. The two mothers and a third woman sued Governor Mike Parson's administration. Last week, the governor dropped plans to expand Medicaid after the legislature refused to fund it. Voters last year amended the Constitution to expand access to the health insurance program to hundreds of thousands more low-income adults. The women say they need the health insurance program to get treatment for illnesses including asthma and diabetes. Still ahead, from the rubble of tragedy came a goal for 4 Joplin Memorial runners.
I wanted to run this race someday in my life.
It was a distraction initially.
I wanted to do something on that day to actively live my life.
Next, we'll hear their stories of surviving the storm and why they run. The Joplin Memorial Run is a source of inspiration, hope, and reflection for those impacted by the May 22nd tornado. Some people have been running for years. For some, tomorrow's run will be their first. KOIM's Chris Warner introduces us to a group of people, each with their own reason to run.
Eric and Tori Epperson have lived in Joplin for about 20 years. Growing up in Oklahoma, storm sirens and tornado warnings were nothing new. On May 22, 2011, Eric wasn't home, but Tori, along with their Siberian Husky and 4-week-old baby, were. Tori says it seemed like just another warning at first.
When the lights kind of started flickering and the sky turned kind of green, it had a different feel to it.
So you feel so helpless. Right, I'm stuck across town. It was one of the few Sunday afternoons I'd ever had to go into work. I don't know if I've been in on a Sunday afternoon since. And so you feel helpless. You feel a little guilty that you're not there.
The Eppersons say they needed a way to focus their grief and loss, so Tori began running in the Memorial Run in its first year in 2012.
It was a distraction initially, and it became a way to mark a really horrible event with something positive. And so especially I think that first one was, this has been a really hard year, and this has been a really sad year, and I lost students in it, and I know students lost their families in it, and it was just a really tragic year, and I thought, I want to honor it properly. I don't want to not be sad, but I also would like something really good to happen on this day.
10 years later, it's a tradition. The Eppersons invite their friends and family to join in, and even their daughter runs.
Our daughter, who's now 10, runs with us. She started out doing the kids' 1-mile run and now does the 5K with us every year.
The Eppersons say they'll never forget that day, and the Memorial Run is a way for them to keep focused each spring when storm season strikes. At the time of the tornado, Arthur Huning lived in the Netherlands along with his wife Emily, who was from Carthage. The couple had just visited Joplin a few weeks before the tornado. On the morning of May 23rd, he opened his local paper and read about the tornado.
And there it all started. It was a really crazy day for us.
The time difference made it even more difficult to get in touch with relatives.
During that time you feel powerless, and with all the social media we were still unable to get information quickly.
Eventually, Arthur found out his wife's family was okay. Now the two have relocated to Joplin. Arthur has participated in a number of runs and marathons, but this is his first time in the Joplin Run, a moment he's been waiting for since 2012.
I had one goal in running, and it was not like the Boston Marathon or in New York, what people ask me a lot, but I wanted to run this race someday in my life.
Kim Hickey survived the tornado in the 15th Street Walmart. She took shelter with about 20 other people in the bathroom in the back of the store. She remembers listening to the roar of the storm as it passed through the store.
I made it through, and I was so thankful for that. And I was thankful that I had the peace of God with me during all that time.
Kim isn't just motivated to run in her first marathon because she survived the 2011 tornado. She says she's running for someone she lost in a more recent tragedy. Her fiancé passed away from COVID, and May 22nd was going to be their wedding day.
I wanted to do something on that day to actively live my life, to take a step forward and participate in what was going on in the community, and also to honor Mark's memory with that.
Kim says she'll be taking part in the 5K as a walker, and the training she's put herself through to join her fellow community members has given her life direction.
No matter what tragedy I've gone through, every new day of life is a gift, and I want to embrace that and enjoy that and live it with purpose.
4 people, each with their own reason to run. In Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
The Joplin Memorial Run is scheduled to begin at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Later, one of Joplin's oldest parks now serves as a reminder of the destruction of the 2011 tornado and the perseverance of the residents who survived it.
But first, we'll look at the forecast for the run tomorrow, the weekend, and the week ahead, all coming up next. It was, surprise, another day with cloud cover reigning supreme along with some additional rain. This time, though, mainly on the Missouri side, especially as we got into this late morning and throughout much of the afternoon. A couple stray showers on the Kansas side during the day, sure, but again, the bulk of the rain, even though it was light, mainly on the Missouri side as we get this weekend started. A closer look again shows most of us on the Kansas-Oklahoma side underneath mostly cloudy skies, but really dry. But any light rain showing up on the radar is mainly east of 49 from about Bolivar and stretching almost down to Nixa. But if we go in a little bit tighter, I have noticed a few little returns trying to pop up around Miami and close to Wyandotte and Fairland. This is trying to lift north and east, and if it ever tries to make it to Joplin, might be a few raindrops or maybe a very light and quick shower. But for now, though, Joplin, I'm finally seeing some peaks of the sun, and we're looking dry underneath mostly cloudy skies. 72 in Joplin with the south breeze at 13. Humidity, though, pretty high at 81%. At the very least, we were finally able to get some mid-70s on the board. 75 in Yates Center, Chanute, Fredonia, while we're at 70 in Carthage, 65 in Monette, 72 for Miami and Grove. For the rest of the evening, it's mainly lower 70s until 8 o'clock. Upper 60s by 10 o'clock, and then eventually down to about 67 for overnight lows. So it's not going to be much of a drop-off as we continue with mostly cloudy skies and we get a bit of a lull in our rain chances. Rain chances that want to continue to try to come in for one more day, not because of anything at the surface. We have a southeast wind in place with high pressure, even though it's well to the east. This cold front to our northwest doesn't come into play until Tuesday. So in the short term, it looks as though this upper level ridge wants to eat away at our rain chances and keep us warm. But this stubborn upper level low south of Houston, that is what's contributing to the steady stream of moisture as it gets caught up with the jet right on top of us. So what that means, mostly cloudy skies for tonight, and maybe a random shower during the late night and before sunrise in the morning. But by 6 a.m., another good stream of moisture with another quick upper level wave. A band of light rain develops along and south of I-44, lifts north as it continues to develop. So this may be an issue for the Memorial Run in Joplin, especially as much of the races get going between 6 and 9 a.m. Fortunately, I do not see these as thunderstorms, so they should be able to get the races in. And fortunately, these rain chances don't last all day long. You can see how everything starts lifting to the north and becomes a lot more scattered and less numerous in terms of coverage. With that said, though, we'll try to make the best of any dry time we get tomorrow with that south wind at 5 to 10. 67 in the morning, 71 by noon, highs near 76. I think we're okay for the evening, except for maybe a couple showers, maybe a random storm on the Kansas and Oklahoma side. Dry overnight for your Sunday morning, then maybe a random storm or two with highs finally back near 80 as we go into your Sunday afternoon. Mainly dry for Monday with this upper ridge in play. Can't rule out a stray storm though, but sticking with Doug's pattern, these two upper lows wants to bring that next cold front our way, and you can see the end result on that run of the future track there and on the 7-day forecast. Better thunderstorm chances and possibly strong to severe weather Tuesday through next Friday. In the short term though, we don't have any nasty weather to worry about in terms of thunderstorms. 76 tomorrow, 80 for Sunday and Monday, Dale.
No nasty weather is good. We prefer the rain wasn't around, but we'll deal with it, I guess. Thanks, Nick. Still ahead on KOAM News at 6.
So Cunningham Park really is where the story is told at.
It's a story of hurt, recovery, and for many, perseverance. Our staycation series continues with a visit to Joplin's Cunningham Park. As people look to pay tribute to the lives lost ahead of the anniversary of the Joplin tornado, they reflect on the strength of the community to push forward. For this week's 4-state staycation, KOAM photojournalist Liam Mandelbaum takes us to a park at the epicenter of the tornado, a park telling a story equal parts tragedy and triumph.
It's Cunningham Park. This was one of our ground zero locations 10 years ago. And this was the main spot for the impact of the EF5 tornado on May 22nd, 2011. Well, Cunningham Park has always been a focal point. It's over a century-old city park, and it's been one of those gathering places. The tall oak trees and the bandstand were very iconic for the city at that time. And in fact, we lost it all. I mean, we lost even every blade of grass was gone out of this park 10 years ago. So what the Park Service has done to bring this back to life, and a lot of donations, a lot of sweat equity from a lot of people, it's a beautiful landmark for the city. We put a few things in the ground that are great pieces to tell the story. And the pencil sketch houses that are behind me are resemblant of the 3 houses that were physically there before the tornado happened, but they also house the butterfly garden. And then also here in the park is the names, the bronze plaque with 161 names on it, the time capsules are in there, and the fountain for us to remember the days of that event. So Cunningham Park really is where the story is told at. So that's very much a tribute to the survivors of the tornado. And I got to say, really the resilience of the people that we have, the families that bounce back, that put their boots up, got their houses cleaned up, rebuild, and are still here in this neighborhood, just shows how strong the city is.
Cunningham Park is at 26th and Maiden Lane. Final check on the weather is next. We take time now to honor a local veteran. Alan Anderson serves in the U.S. Air Force. He's been stationed in Kuwait, Qatar, and Afghanistan. His hometown, Carthage, Missouri. And we are proud to salute Alan Anderson. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, we take you to a special event tonight for Mercy healthcare workers to reflect and comfort each other, remembering 10 years since the Joplin tornado. Also, the White House is targeting tax evaders with a new plan. And a new study gives us an idea of how many people have won the lottery using those fortune cookie numbers. That and more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Let's check back with Nick Kelly. A lot of people keeping their eyes on the skies as we look at the ceremonies coming up this weekend.
Yeah, nothing to worry about this evening. I think much of the area stays dry. We get a break in the action, but by tomorrow morning, and unfortunately as the Memorial Run gets going, we'll have a good chance for rain across a good portion of the area. Fortunately, those rain chances taper off during the day. 76 for your Saturday, near 80 for Sunday and Monday. Better shots for storms and severe weather by the middle of next week.
Nick, thanks, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.